Hello guys, and welcome back to another of my YouTube video. This is the channel that talks to you about business, branding, and how to maintain an active presence on the internet as a business person. But on this particular video, I'm going to be deviating a little bit. I'm going to be talking about a book I read back in March of 2022, and it is titled 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. It's a very popular book, very popular book. It's not a hidden book, and I'm sure a lot of people have made videos already about this book. Many people have reviewed this book already, and so it's not as if I'm the first to review it. But I read it recently, and these are my thoughts on this book as a business person, as someone that has clients also that are startups, that are business people. I read it from that mindset. Like if I had read this book earlier, before I was a business person, before when I was still working my 9 to 5, I would have seen this book in a different light. Right, so that's something about this particular book. This book is mostly meant for business people, for startup entrepreneurs, and people that are doing other businesses. Now the thing is, there's a difference between a startup and a business, right? And I'm going to do a video about what that difference is in another video. I'm going to talk about it, the difference between a startup and a business, right? So but this book is good for both. If you're a startup entrepreneur or you are a business owner, this book is like it's gonna be very helpful, and that's why you should probably watch this video to the end. Now this video is going to be divided into 3 parts. The first part is I'm going to talk about who Peter Thiel is first of all, so at least we can understand who he is and why he has the authority to write this particular book. Well, and then the second part of this video is going to be a summary of the book, like a general summary. I'm not going to spoil the book for you so that it won't be as if I've given you everything. And then the third part of this video is going to be 3 important lessons from the book that I learned from my perspective, from my own entrepreneurs, from my own startup mind, right? Because like I said before, if I'd read this book earlier when I was still in a 9 to 5 life, or when I was just an ordinary freelancer, the book wouldn't have made as much sense as it does now that I'm running my own business. Now that I'm a startup, I run a startup called Digital Skills School, and I also have clients that run businesses as well, startup businesses as well. So this mindset that I have now, I used to read this book, has made this book make a whole lot more sense to me. So let us get right into it. Who is Peter Thiel? Now Peter Thiel is a billionaire investor, is a founder, and is a CEO of a number of companies. So back in 1998, Peter Thiel founded a company called PayPal. He founded this company alongside with Elon Musk back in 1998, you know, when the internet just started becoming popular. I mean, of course, we all know what PayPal is. And then in 2004, he was one of the first. He was actually the first major investor in Facebook. He was one of the people that invested into Facebook to make Facebook scale to be what it is today. So, and then in 2012, when Facebook became a public company, he sold most of those shares and cashed out big time. So Peter Thiel knows something about business, and he's also an investor. He owns shares in companies like Airbnb, Spotify, SpaceX, and LinkedIn, and Yelp. You know, he owns. So he's a business guru. He's a business juggernaut, if you may say that. And he has a lot of experience when it comes to small businesses, big businesses, how businesses start from 0 to 1, right? So that is it about Peter Thiel. Is the kind of person that you should listen to as an entrepreneur. It's the kind of person you should read his book. So apart from 0 to 1, he has written other books that I highly recommend that you also go after to read. So now I'm going to give you a summary of 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. Now 0 to 1 really talks about how you can create new ideas, where new ideas can be found, you know. And then it also talks about how you as a business or as a startup can go from 0 to 1, how nothing can grow to become something, you know, how you can start from nowhere and end up somewhere really big. And it is also a manual for startup founders and anyone trying to build a business. So this book is very good. It gives you some really practical steps on marketing. It really gives some practical steps on how to manage people, how to hire people, how to scale, how to kind of like upgrade your product, upgrade your services. So it is really gives some really practical steps. That's why I call it like a manual. And it also existing businesses can use it can use the ideas in this book to improve. Yeah, so it's not just only for startups, but if your business is already thriving, if you're already a big business, already making profits, the ideas in this book can help your business to improve greatly. So I mean, especially when it comes to making new products, making new services, improving on your customer service, improving on how you deliver your existing product and services to people. So that is the book in summary. And this book is kind of controversial because I'm currently reading another book that is titled The Lean Startup. The Lean Startup. Actually, Peter Thiel in this book, 0 to 1, criticized the Lean Startup. I mean, so I have to go and read the Lean Startup to go and to kind of like check out what he was talking about. And it's true. The processes, the ideas in the Lean Startup is kind of like opposite to what Peter Thiel is saying in 0 to 1. Peter Thiel 0 to 1 is a bit unconventional. It's a bit, how will I put it? It kind of gives you like a radical approach to business, to doing business as a startup and as an existing business. Peter Thiel says it right from the start that look, there is no fixed way to doing business, to becoming a $1 billion business. There is no fixed way to becoming a unicorn. There is just no particular way. Different people try different approaches, but there are some certain things that are common to all these businesses. So the fact that Mr. A did this and it worked for him does not mean that you should do that same thing and it worked for you. Although there are some certain, like one of my mentors, one of my people I follow online, the person of Dan Penny, I would always say, success leaves clues. That's just it. So success leaves clues. So you have to just follow. There are some clues. There are successful people that you can learn from successful people and use to grow. So let's move on to the third part of this book, which is the main thing in this video, which is the 3 things that I learned from this book, which I think are very important to you. So here are 3 lessons that I learned from Peter Thiel's book 0 to 1. Number 1 is make concrete plans. Number 2 is look for secrets. And number 3 is sell first. Now, there are so many other things you can learn from this particular book, but these 3 stood out for me. I'm going to explain each of them. Make concrete plans. Now, in Peter Thiel's book, Peter Thiel made reference to or explained the concept, or should I say invented the concept. I don't know if it existed before him, but if we were to Google these 2 terms, definite optimist and indefinite optimist, Peter Thiel's name is going to come out. Now, make concrete plans and make actionable steps to achieve those plans. So now, in making concrete plans, when I was explaining this concept of making concrete plans, we talked about 2 sets of people, one being a definite optimist and the other being an indefinite optimist. A definite optimist is someone that knows how the future will form and make concrete plans to get there, right? That is who a definite optimist is. He has a picture of what the future will look like and he makes concrete plans to get there. An indefinite optimist is someone that knows that the future will be good, but how that future will turn out to be good, he does not know and does not make any plans. He just has this maybe emotional or religious kind of perception that the future will be okay. Just like we used to say in my country, last week they do all right. That is who an indefinite optimist is. Someone that feels that everything's going to be all right. Don't worry, it's all work out in the end. But how it will work out, he does not actually know. But a definite optimist is someone that he knows the future will be good, but he consistently makes plans and works towards it. Peter Thiel says we should be the definite optimist. That the definite optimist is the place you want to be. He also talked about the indefinite pessimist and the definite pessimist, people that don't see anything good in the future, that the future is going to be bleak, the future is going to be completely bad. So you want to be a definite optimist, someone that knows the future will be okay, but then makes concrete plans to kind of like get to that future. Peter Drucker, this is a quote now. Peter Drucker once said that the best way to predict the future is by creating that future. So you don't just expect things to be all right when you've not made plans for things to be all right. You just look at the society around you, then predict. You try to like anticipate what will happen in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years, and make plans to kind of like exist in that future, right? And then the number two thing I would say I learned from this book is looking for secrets. Look for secrets. Now, Peter Thiel says whenever he's interviewing someone for a job, he likes to ask them, what important truths do you believe but very few people agree with you on? Right? What do you believe to be true but other people disagree with you, or many people know that thing is true? And that is how to look for secrets. You have certain beliefs. Now, not the general belief that maybe there is God, or America is the best country to be in the world. Most of the great discoveries of our time came out of people who were asking questions, came from people that kept asking questions, were inquisitive, they were curious to know things. They kept asking questions: why is this like this? Why shouldn't it be like this? What can make it better? How can I do this better? And those are how some of the great discoveries were made. Now, this is how discoveries are made. As a business person, as a scientist, or someone that creates art or content, you can't do anything new if you are neutral in the world. Here's a vital point now to take home from this particular point, that is looking for secrets. So here is a quote now, a key takeaway from the book, which is the classic success book Think and Grow Rich says that fear of criticism is one of the biggest things stopping people from becoming wealthy. As social animals that we are, it's only natural that we desire to be accepted by those around us. So we tend to bury our more unconventional ideas. In fact, the book shares the story of Guglielmo Marconi, the inventor of the radio, when he told his friends that he had discovered a way to send messages through the air without wires. His friends brought him into a psychiatric hospital straight up. So his idea was very, very unconventional, but his friends thought he was crazy. And that is really, really true, because we as human beings, we want to be accepted. We don't want to really say things or share ideas or ask questions that go against the norm of society, because we want to be social. We want people to accept us. But Peter Thiel is saying that if you don't ask questions, if you don't look for secrets, the key word here is secrets. If you don't look for secrets, you cannot solve more problems. You cannot solve the world's problems. You cannot discover new things of how to make your business bigger, or how to start a new type of business that has not been started before. Right. So the number three thing I learned from this book is sell first. Sell first. So selling, every startup must think about distribution. Distribution is very, very key. You must think about how can your services, how can your product get to different people either around the world, if it is a software, or if it's a physical product within your environment, within your country. How can this product, how can this service spread around? Like, what is the major means of distribution? That is one of the things you should think about. You should not just think about how to make the best product. Oh, this product is good, this product is nice. How will it get to the hands of people? Because if it doesn't get to the hands of people, you can't make money with it. And if you can't make money with it, then it's not a business, it is a hobby, right? Just like I am making this video now, I have thought about how can this video get to people. So I put it on YouTube, so I put it on Facebook, so I cut snippet of it and put on Instagram, I put on TikTok, and then I send it to my friends on WhatsApp, I send it to my friends on my Facebook groups, I send it to my friends on LinkedIn. Those are ways of distributing this particular video that I have made. So if you are making a product, if you are making a services, you should think about distribution, which is very, very important. Peter Thiel talks about two major ways that you can distribute. So the first way he talked about is, if your product you are making is a cheap product, right? The two ways that Peter Thiel says you can think about marketing and distribution of your product and service is that, number one, if it is a cheap product, if it's something affordable, let me say $10, $20, even maybe $50, you can run ads on social media. You can do social media ads, which is the easiest way, and you can do that from the comfort of your home. But if it is a bigger kind of product that costs the hundreds of thousands, it is maybe it's luxury product, or maybe it's machinery, then you need to hire a sales team, because you cannot run ads to sell Porsche cars. You cannot run ads to sell products that is worth hundreds of thousands. You need to hire salespeople that you train them and go door to door to market this product for you that go business to business to market these products for you, right? So that is just it. That is the two major ways he talked about it, depending on the product or service you are offering and the price range. If the price is cheap, if you are selling makeup, if you are selling food, if you are selling a particular type of drink, soft drink, run ads on it. But if you are selling maybe heavy machinery like generator plants, big machineries, industrial machineries, or things that cost more, then you might not be able to run social media ads for those kinds of products or services. You might need to hire salespeople that go one-to-one to convince people to buy it, right? Those are two ways of sales, of distribution, which as a business person you must think about. You must learn things like CAC. Let me just I hope we've taken this down. Let me just clean a portion here to write stuff. You must learn concepts like CAC and CLV. So concepts like customer acquisition cost, customer acquisition cost, and concepts like customer lifetime value. So cost of customer acquisition and customer lifetime value. So cost of customer acquisition simply means how much did you spend to get a customer, right? So these two concepts are mostly common in service-based business. Let me say, for example, how much did you use to run ads, for instance, or how much did you pay your marketers that they use to acquire? Let me say you sell real estate, for instance, now, and you spent money on ads. You spent money, you paid a marketer to help you go from place to place to market that particular property. You spent money maybe on transport fare, going to show clients or going to show prospective buyers a particular property. You must calculate all that costs. If it takes you 1 month to sell a particular property, for instance, now, you must calculate everything you spent, the transport you were using, the cost you were making, even the lunch you were eating. Of course, there are some properties that you need to take the buyer to lunch. You need to take them. If it's a really high value property, you need to take them to lunch. You need to take them to parties, host them to dinner parties, cocktail parties, take them out, drinking. I'm not the drinking person, I don't advocate it, but is what some real estate people do when they want to sell, when they want to close to real high value customers. You must calculate all that cost, and then to know that, okay, to sell this particular property, I spend maybe say 10,000 to sell this particular property. Now, what is now the lifetime value of that particular customer? Of course, if it's a one-time purchase, if it's a company that sells something once, definitely the cost of that the cost of customer acquisition or customer acquisition cost must be covered by the lifetime value of that particular customer. So let me use a more relatable example now for small businesses. So let's say you own a makeup salon or you own a barbing salon and you run ads. You run Facebook ads or Instagram ads, and then you have someone walking through your salon, either a makeup salon or a barbing salon, right? And that person, and you spend, let's say you spend 10K on ads, for instance, and your haircut or your hairdo costs just 1K. Now lifetime value, should be that this person keeps coming to you to spend money for you to be able to recover this 10K you spent in acquiring that particular customer, right? So of course, some things like haircuts, makeup, and hairdo for ladies is something that is done regularly. If they keep coming to your salon and they keep spending this 1K, of course, in the next few months you would cover this and you would even spill over and make more, right? So as a business, these are the kind of things you must think about at the early stage. Don't just go about developing the best product. Oh, my product must be perfect, my service must be perfect. How are you going to sell it? And these are things you must think about from the very beginning. So Peter Thiel says that you must sell first. That selling is probably the most important thing in any business. Not the product, not even you, the entrepreneur. It is the customers and how you want to get them to give you money for your product and services. So that is just like the three basic things from that I learned from 0 to 1. Make concrete plans, look for secrets, and sell first. Very, very important. So now I want to also recommend a follow-up book. There's a follow-up book I want to recommend for you that maybe after you've read 0 to 1, or if you've read 0 to 1 already, I think you should go and read it. The title of the book is 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing. 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing. That is a book you should probably go and check out. It's like a follow-up book. Maybe after you've started your business, go and read on how to market that business, how to distribute, how to sell, right? That book is amazing. I read that book back in March of 2022. It's amazing. And if you are a slow reader, if you're a lazy reader, you don't like reading, I made 22 videos on my TikTok about each law. There are 22 laws, so I made a video each short videos, of course, because it's TikTok, about summarizing each of these laws of marketing. If you want to see what I've cleaned up before, you can easily go back in the video and watch it. So my TikTok, go to just search for Coach Attah on TikTok. Yes, so go to Coach Attah on my TikTok. I've broken down the 22 immutable laws of marketing. There are 22 videos I've done there, and each one explains each of the laws. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it if you don't really have time to read the book or you don't have access to the book, right? So don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and tell me what you think about this video, if I should make more videos like this, and suggest more branding, business, or book videos I should kind of do, so that for your watching pleasure. Also leave a comment, tell me what you think, and subscribe to this channel because I release more videos on branding, more videos on business just like this. I'll see you on the very next video. See ya.